there'll be so much more.
Yes.
But I'm going to ask you, what is the big agenda? Is that a okay
it's
question?
very simple because the country is in such dire straits. It's make America safe again, make America great, make America prosperous. It's everything that you've heard. What I did in this book is to give a profile of what we're up against. That's how you can understand how important Trump is.
Mm-hmm.
What we're up against.
Mm-hmm.
There was a seminal moment in the second debate when he turned to the television cameras and the 50 million people watching and said, you have to understand Hillary has tremendous hatred in her heart.
We have an increase in murder within our cities, the biggest in 45 years. We have a divided nation because people like her, and believe me, she has tremendous hate in her heart. And when she said deplorables, she meant it. And when she said irredeemable, they're irredeemable. You didn't mention that. But when she said they're irredeemable, to me, that might have been even worse.
She said some of them are irredeemable.
She's got tremendous hatred. And this country cannot take another 4 years of Barack Obama, and that's what you're getting with her.
There's no other Republican who would ever have said that. What was he referring to? He was referring to her comment that Trump supporters belong in a basket of deplorables and irredeemables.
Oh, remember
Interesting
that?
choice of words.
Oh, yes.
Can't be redeemed.
Oh.
And then she named them: racist, sexist, homophobes, Islamophobes, xenophobes.
You know, to just be grossly generalistic, you could put half of Trump supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables. Right? The racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic, you name it.
There's not a conservative listening to this show or in this country who has been in an argument with a so-called liberal who has not also been called a racist, a sexist, a homophobe, or an Islamophobe. The Democratic Party is a party of hate. That's what they run on. They accuse Republicans of being racist, sexist, etc. It's to drum us out of the human race. That's the way they think of religious. Look, they think of themselves, think about it. You think you're the savior. You think that if you get enough power, if you tax people enough, if you concentrate enough power in Washington, if you get control of the intelligence services, you can redeem the world. You see yourself as the army of the saints, and you see us as the party of the devil. That's the way they look at the world. You have to understand it's like a counter-religion.
You said you've been waiting 30 years for someone like Trump to come along.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I say, I've waited somebody to point to what the Democrats have done to minorities in the inner cities. What Republican has done that except Trump?
That's true. That's true.
I waited for, a Republican who would say to their face, to Hillary's face, you're a liar and a crook, which he is. The Democrats aren't shy. They're calling Trump a traitor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Impeachable.
It's their president. If Franklin Roosevelt had given nuclear weapons and $200 billion to Adolf Hitler, what would we call him?
Oh,
traitor.
Yeah.
A traitor, and that's what Obama is. But there isn't a Republican with the spine to say so. I'm not an evangelical, so I don't fully understand the argument about this world and the next. But you've got to get engaged or there won't be a church.
That's right.
You won't be able to save souls if you sit on your hands any longer.
Boy. Now
when you order the book today,
just challenge.
we've been talking a lot about
the church.
Ronald Reagan on this show.
Yes.
This is my interview. The lost interview has been lost for 35 years.
Yes.
We found it's never been aired before, except when we just found it. And it's an unbelievable interview.
Yes.
And you'll understand why I think the world of this man when you see my private interview with this president, Ronald Reagan.
Right. This was taped in 1979. He was running for president of the United States, and it was shortly before he was elected. And I'm going to tell you, you call it, Jim. We watched it. It's amazing. You can't even believe it, actually. And David, I think you'll find this interesting. We want to make sure we can take one home with you. But everyone, you'll receive this if you ask for it when you call to order David's book.
Just say I want my free copy.
Yes.
And I'll give you that video of it. You said Trump's blowing up political correctness was a watershed event in itself.
Yes, because political correctness is a polite term for the Communist Party line. That's the way I'll describe it. Political correctness is a term invented by Mao Zedong, the greatest mass murderer in human history, for people who deviated from the party line. If you didn't follow the orthodoxy, that's what it's about. That's why the Democrats march in lockstep, because they're afraid of deviating. It takes enormous courage or stupidity to cross that line, because you get thrown into the outer cold if you do. So it's why Republicans won't say to Hillary Clinton, "You're a crook." It's why they won't say she has tremendous hatred in her heart. It's why they won't say the Democrats are a racist party. Then what is identity politics? It's racism. It's like there's a term they have there, like they have undocumented immigrants, as though these people lost their documents.
That's right. Wow.
To cover the fact that this is an invasion by people coming here illegally and disregarding our laws, and it undoes our sovereignty. It's a contempt for our sovereignty as a nation.
I've got about a dozen more questions for today. I'm going to have to do them tomorrow.
Yep.
And I will ask tomorrow for you guys, if you tune in, who is the shadow government? I always want to know that. Why are people on both sides of the aisle looking for every reason to impeach our president, President Trump, since his first day in office? And why is the Republican Party a concern with you? Republicans currently rule the House and Senate. Why are your concerns about Congress? Are they abusing their power? Why are Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton staying so involved right now? Why can't President Trump not fire Obama's old team that are still in the White House?
Oh, good question.
Boy, somebody almost broke out in applause.
We
there.
want to know the answer.
And you believe we're living in a very serious, dark time? Do you fear that President Trump could be assassinated? Tomorrow's show, we don't have time. We're totally gone.
Yes.
Order your book.
Get this book.
This is the best buy in town, but this is the book you've got to have in your house. Get a half a dozen of them for $88 gift to the ministry, and give them to your family and friends. You need to know what's going on. Too many church people are putting their head in the ground. They're hiding from truth. And you've got to know, because if we are going to win, we need to know what our enemy's doing and who they are and what's going on.
Right.
I want to thank you so much, David Horowitz, for being with us today. One of the great authors of all time.
So great.
God bless.